What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mary Says Amen. They get supposed to. So, if you all don't know, I left my full time job almost a year ago to pursue my dreams of becoming an actress. It's been an amazing journey thus far, and I started this YouTube channel to document what my life has been like, everything that I've learned, and what it actually looks like to pursue your dreams. So, today we're going to get into some jobs that you can do as you pursue your dreams of becoming an actor. Because the reality is, until you're actually getting booked consistently, you're going to have to get a job that will help support you and your lifestyle in the meantime. So I have 5 different types of jobs that I've personally done myself that I think anybody can do as they pursue their dreams to become an actor. So kicking off the list with number 1 is working for an after school program. So one of the pros of working for an after school program is that you have flexible hours. Typically these programs take place after school, so usually after 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have your whole day to do whatever it is you need to do leading up into that point. And because it's a school program, you always are going to have your weekends off unless you're doing something like a production that's going to take place on the weekend. But typically you have your weekends off, which is a huge plus. And another pro is that you get to work with kids. Because kids are literally little versions of us. I found that you're never really going to be bored because they're so interesting. They have so many different opinions on everything. And it's great because there's really never going to be a dull moment. So I say that to say, if you don't like working with kids, this is not the job for you, because obviously you're going to be around kids all the time. And so you have to at least like them in order to not hate that job. And I'm a huge proponent of that. Like whatever you do to help support yourself as you become an actor, my whole thing is that you need to actually like what you're doing, because if not, you're going to show up miserable and you're going to find yourself kind of like dreading going there. So you have a choice in what you want to do to support yourself. So choose something that you actually like to do and that you don't mind going to every day. And the other con for working for an after school program is that it is typically part-time. That might impact how much money you're making, which might not be enough to cover your expenses. So that's always something to keep in mind. So moving right along to recommendation number 2 is any type of remote work. I'd recommend a virtual assistant or a virtual executive assistant because there are always so many different openings across so many different companies online. So a huge pro to work remotely is obviously working from home. So you get to do whatever it is you want on the side as you continue to work and get paid, which also can sometimes be a con because similar to working in an office setting, when you're at home, you're going to be sitting down most of the time. And so you're going to have to find other ways to be active outside of your job so that you can stay healthy. And this might only be a con for some people, but you're going to have to be able to motivate yourself to actually do what you need to do when you're working from home. There are some people that will 100% admit that they cannot work remotely because they don't actually do their work. And that's fine. It's all about knowing yourself and knowing what works best for you. So finding ways to motivate yourself to actually do your work so you can stay employed is definitely something that you're going to have to be able to do. And clocking in at number 3 is becoming a content creator. Creating content is a great way to showcase your talents and to broaden your portfolio when it comes to editing, directing, and producing, which can also lead to more jobs because companies might need social media editors or directors or producers, and you can just send them your content, which is always going to be a bonus. So a huge pro to being a content creator is that it is a great way to get recognized and potentially booked just by your online content. And as you begin to amass a social following, that will only help you when it comes to getting booked from a casting point of view. But the downside or con to being a content creator is that you have to be consistent. I'm sure any successful content creator that's giving advice to any aspiring content creator will tell them that being consistent is a non-negotiable. Because the only way to continue to show people that you're serious about this is to show up every day and create your content. And because every social media platform is already oversaturated with so much content, you really have to be consistent and show up every day to show your followers that you are serious about this and give them a reason to actually support you. And moving on to number 4, we have working in production. And I do recognize that this would typically only be in areas where there are lots of production jobs like Los Angeles, Atlanta, and New York. But if you're in one of those cities, great. But if not, there are some other options that I will talk about in just a second that still apply to you. Anything happening on set is a great job to do as you pursue your dream of becoming an actor. So a pro to working in production is that you get paid pretty decently and you get paid weekly. And because you're working on set, there's going to be so many different type of networking opportunities if you play your cards right to actually network your way into the things that you actually want to be doing. So just by proximity and by showing up every day and being an asset to the production, you have an opportunity to meet the people that can help you get to wherever you're trying to go in the industry. And unfortunately, the biggest con to working in production is that it is unpredictable. So in the last few years, dealing with the pandemic and the back-to-back actors and writer strikes, there were a lot of productions that were just stopped, which means a lot of people were out of work. And I know things like that don't happen often, but when they do occur, they do leave a really big impact. So that's just something to keep in mind if you do decide to go the production route. And for my fifth and final recommendation that I have for you all, it's working in live events. So a huge pro to living in Los Angeles or any other entertainment hub city is that there's always so many different live events happening annually. And similar to working on set, working live events provide networking opportunities that can help you get to where you really want to be in the industry. So for live events, think of things like concerts, award shows, fundraisers, banquets, things that require large staffs that sometimes will work for a few days or a few weeks before and after to put on that live event. And the great thing about working in production and live events is that when you meet the people who actually do this for a living, you're going to be able to keep in contact with them and hit them up every single time you may need to work. And so there might be an event coming up that they're working on and they may need a few extra hands. That could be a few extra days of work that can, help pay for your classes or whatever it is you need the funds for. So networking is definitely key when you're working in production and in live events. So the huge con to working in live events is that these events typically take place at night and on the weekends. So if you're an early bird like me and you like to wake up and go to bed in the same day that you woke up, this might not be the route for you. So major shout out to you for taking the step of faith and pursuing your dreams of becoming an actor and for being willing to do whatever it takes to support yourself and your dream. So if anything, look at it as preparation for whatever role you're going to get booked to, because I promise you, everything happens for a reason. And as you do these things and meet these people and have these experiences, they're only going to make you a better actor. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and special thanks to those who like these videos, to subscribe to my channel, and for continuing to support me. Y'all are real ones, okay? And that's on love. Until next time.